Now we shall start with SSR filling of criteria 2. As you can see, there are 16 metrics in this criteria. So the criteria 2 is teaching, learning and evaluation. Under this we have the first key indicator 2.1 student enrollment and profile. Under this the first metric is 2.1.1 average enrollment percentage, average of last 5 years. This has two sub questions. First one is 2.1.1.1 number of students admitted year wise during last 5 years, and second sub question 2.1.1.2 number of sanctioned seats year wise during last 5 years. So you have to enter the value for the each assessment year. As you can see, there are 5 assessment year data which is asked by NAC, and the assessment years or the academic years are displayed automatically by the system. The calculation of assessment years has been explained in NAC guidelines video. So once you fill all the 5-year data and click on save button, the final response of the metric will be displayed. This shows which are the metrics which are pending to be filled by you, which are the uploads which are pending. You can just close this and you can see the final response of the metric displayed here. This box is not editable. Based on the formula, the system automatically calculates the final response of each. Then we have related input. Related input usually has the standard values used in a metric or any extended profile questions used in the metric. In this metric you have a standard value which is total academic years considered, that is 5, which represents the 5 assessment years of NAC. Then you have a mandatory data template upload. An upload is said to be mandatory when you can see a star symbol against that upload, and all the uploads have been, as we have been explaining throughout the portal and all the videos, it should be less than 5 MB, and more details about more than 5 MB data has been explained in guidelines video. Kindly go through the guidelines video. To download a template, you can click here on data template, or you can download it from extended profile templates and the metric data templates from NAC website apply online page. So to select a file which you have already downloaded and saved in your system, click on the upload button. A pop-up to select the file will appear. Here you can navigate to the respective folder where you have saved the file and select the respective file. All the data templates are Excel files, so you can select the Excel file, click on open, and the file will be attached. Any data entered in the metric or any file attached can be changed any time by the institution only before submission of SSR. Once you submit your SSR, none of the data or files can be changed. So if you want to change a file, just click on remove button and click OK. Then you can see the file is removed. Again you can click on upload button and follow the same steps to select a new file. Let us see the specific instructions and the documents required for verification of metric 2.1.1. Here you can see the specific instruction says sanctioned admission strength in each program versus students enrollment for each program year wise will be considered, and documents required for verification are document relating to sanction of intake from affiliating university or government or statutory body, approved admission list year wise or program wise from the affiliating university. Moving ahead, we have metric 2.1.2, which is average percentage of seats filled against seats reserved for various categories SC, ST, OBC, Divyangan, etc. as per applicable reservation policy during the last 5 years, exclusive of supernumerary seats. This has a sub-question 2.1.2.1, which is number of actual students admitted from the reserved categories year-wise during the last 5 years. Here this metric has a related input from extended profile, which is number of seats earmarked for reserved category as per GOI or state government rule year-wise during last 5 years, where GOI means Government of India. So here you can see the 5-year values which is entered by you in the extended profile. Once you fill in the data as per the requirement of your institution, you can just click on save button. Initially this box will be blank. Only after entering the data the final response of the metric is generated. So here you can see the final response of the metric based on the formula. This metric has a standard data template upload which is mandatory, and upload for any additional information. Now let us see what are the documents required for verification and specific instructions of this metric. The documents required will be copy of letter issued by state government or central government indicating the reserved categories to be considered as per the state rule, in English as applicable. In case the reserved category rule applied for your institution, the letter issued by the government is in your local language, you have to translate it to the English version and upload both the local language version and the English version, which is explained in our guidelines video also. Final admission list indicating the category as published by the HEI and signed by the principal, and admission extract submitted to the state, OBC, SC and ST cell every year, and number of seats earmarked for the reserved categories. So these are the documents required for verification. The specific instruction says you have to include only those reserved categories as specified by the state or central government orders for admission, and only those seats filled against the quota should be counted here. What should not be included or will not be considered by DVV is candidates belonging to the reserved categories who are admitted against general merit category should not be included, and you have to exclude admission to supernumerary seats. Going ahead, we have key indicator 2.2, which is catering to student diversity. Under this we have the qualitative metric 2.2.1, which is the institution assesses the learning levels of the students and organizes special programs for advanced learners and slow learners. Once you click on help button here, you can see you have to write the description in maximum of 500 words. So you can close this. The description can be typed directly. For example, you can type it directly here, or you can copy paste it from an external source, that is a file or a web page, by clicking on paste button, and you can press on Ctrl V and the text will be pasted here. If your description is beyond 500 words, you can put it on your institutional website or in a file. If you have put it in a file, you can upload it here in upload any additional information if you have hosted in your institutional website, then you can provide the link here in paste link for additional information. Then moving ahead, we have metric 2.2.2, which is student full-time teacher ratio data for the latest completed academic year. Here you do not have any sub questions to enter the values, as all the parameters or the values required for this metric has been taken from extended profile, that is related input, which is number of students year wise during the last 5 years and number of full time teachers year wise during the last 5 years. Only the year 1 values are considered, as this metric says data for latest completed academic year. If you have any additional information, you can upload it in additional information. Then we have key indicator 2.3, which is teaching learning process. Under this, the first metric is 2.3.1, student centric methods such as experiential learning, participative learning, and problem solving methodologies are used for enhancing learning experiences. If you click on help button, you can see you have to write a description in maximum of 500 words. So you can type the description directly as we have shown earlier also, or you can copy paste it by using the paste option and click on Ctrl V. If you have a description beyond 500 words, as said earlier, you can upload it in the file or provide the link of your institutional website. Going ahead, we have metric 2.3.2, which is teachers are using ICT enabled tools for effective teaching learning process. Once you click on help button, you can see the description should be in maximum of 500 words. Then again the description can be typed in directly here or pasted by copying from external source and click here as Ctrl V. Again here you have upload for any additional information, and you have to provide the link for web page describing the ICT enabled tools for effective teaching learning process in your institution. Next we have metric 2.3.3, which is ratio of mentor to students for academic and other related issues. Data for the latest completed academic year is considered in this metric. The sub question is 2.3.3.1, number of mentors, and related input is number of students year wise during last 5 years, taken from extended profile. This metric formula will only use year 1 value, as this metric says data for latest completed academic year. Here you have a mandatory upload of mentor-mentee ratio, upload year-wise number of students enrolled and full-time teachers on roll, and circulars pertaining to assigning mentors to mentees. Now let us see what are the documents required for verification and specific instructions of this metric. The documents required for verification of this metric is copy of circular pertaining the details of mentor and their allotted mentees, approved mentor list as announced by the HEI. In addition, issues raised and resolved in the mentor system has to be attached mentor-wise. The specific instruction says only full-time teachers can be considered as mentors. What should not be included or will not be considered by DVV is the mere list of names of mentors and mentees, as this will not suffice for this metric. For the definition of full-time teachers, you can refer the manual glossary section in NAC website. Key indicator 2.4, which is teacher profile and quality. 2.4.1, average percentage of full-time teachers against sanctioned posts during the last 5 years. Here you can see there is no sub question similar to metric 2.2.2, and both the values are from extended profile questions and they are number of full-time teachers year-wise during the last 5 years, and number of sanctioned posts year-wise during the last 5 years. This metric also uses the standard input, that is total academic years considered. Then we have data template, which is a mandatory upload, and list of the faculty members authenticated by the head of the HEI has to be uploaded, and upload for any additional information is provided. Now let us see what are the specific instructions of this metric. That says appointment letter of selected teachers will be asked during the DVV clarification stage for verification, and all full-time teachers with at least 90% prescribed workload should be counted as full-time teachers, and the documents required for verification will be sanction letters indicating number of posts including management sanction posts by competent authority, list of full-time teachers appointed along with their departmental affiliation. And what should not be included or will not be considered is mere appointment letters provided in regional language cannot be considered, and you have to avoid inclusion of part-time or ad hoc or visiting faculty. Moving ahead, we have metric 2.4.2, which is average percentage of full-time teachers with PhD or DM or MCH or DNB super specialty or DSc or DLit during the last 5 years. Consider only highest degree when you are counting a particular full-time teacher. The sub question is 2.4.2.1, which is number of full-time teachers with PhD or DM or MCH or DNB super specialty or DSc or DLit year-wise during the last 5 years. The related input from extended profile is number of full-time teachers year-wise during the last 5 years, and total academic years considered is 5, which is a standard input. This metric has a mandatory data template upload and upload for any additional information. Now let us see what are the documents required for verification and specific instructions of this metric. The documents required says you have to provide the list of faculties having PhD or DM or MCH or DNB super specialty or DSc or DLit along with particulars of degree, awarding university, subject and the year of award, and doctorate degree awarded by the UGC recognized universities only should be considered. The specific instruction says mention number of full-time teachers with PhD or DM or MCH or DMD super specialty or DSc or DLit year-wise irrespective of the year of award, and PhD or DM or MCH or DNB super specialty or DSc or DLit certificates of selected faculty will be asked during DVV clarification process. What should not be included or will not be considered by DVV is the honorary doctorate degrees should not be included in this metric. Moving ahead, we have metric 2.4.3, which is average teaching experience of full-time teachers in the same institution. Data for the latest completed academic year in number of years has to be provided. The sub question is 2.4.3.1, total experience of full-time teachers. Here you can enter the total experience in number of years, that is if you have some 20 teachers and the total experience of all your full-time teachers comes to 107 years, you have to just enter it as 107 and need not type as years or anything. Just enter as 107 and you can click on save button. Once you click on save button, the final response of the metric will be final response of the metric. This metric has a related input from extended profile, which is number of full-time teachers year-wise during the last 5 years, and this will use only the year 1 value, as this metric is data for the latest completed academic year. You have a mandatory data template upload and upload for any additional information. Now let us see what are the documents required for verification and specific instructions of this metric. The documents required is list of faculties along with particulars of the date of appointment in the HEI and years of his experience. Specific instruction says experience certificate or appointment order of selected faculty will be asked during clarification stage if the data is large. What should not be included or will not be considered by DVV is the work experience of the teacher in other institutions should not be considered. That is, you have to consider only the work experience of a teacher in your respective institution. Moving ahead, we have key indicator 2.5, which is evaluation process and reforms. First, we have the metric 2.5.1, which is mechanism of internal assessment is transparent and robust in terms of frequency and mode. Once you click on help button, you can see you have to write the description in 500 words. Then you can type the description here directly, or you can paste it by copying from an external source and click on Ctrl V here and then select OK. This metric has upload for any additional information and link for additional information. Moving ahead, we have metric 2.5.2, which is again a qualitative metric. Mechanism to deal with internal or external examination related grievances is transparent, time bound and efficient. Once you click on help button, you can see you have to write the description in 500 words. Again, as said, you can directly type the information or paste it after copying from an external source like a file or a web page and click on Ctrl V and then select OK. You have option for link for additional information and uploading a file with additional information. Moving ahead, we have key indicator 2.6, student performance and learning outcomes, metric 2.6.1, program and course outcomes for all programs offered by the institution are stated and displayed on website and communicated to teachers and students. Once you click on help button, it says you have to describe course outcomes, that is COs, for all programs and mechanism of communication within a minimum of 500 characters and maximum of 500 words. So you can paste it by clicking on paste button here. After copying from an external source, you can press on Ctrl V and the content will be copied here. Just click on OK after that and the text will be pasted here. The uploads for this metric are, you have to upload COs for all programs, exemplars from glossary, upload any additional information and link for any additional information. Then you have metric 2.6.2, which is attainment of program outcomes and course outcomes are evaluated by the institution. Once you click on help button, you can see you have to describe the method of measuring the level of attainment of POs, that is program outcomes, PSOs, program specific outcomes, and COs, that is course outcomes, in not more than 500 words. Again, you can type the information or copy paste it. Then you have option for uploading any additional information and providing link for additional information. Then you have metric 2.6.3, which is average pass percentage of students during last 5 years. This has two sub questions. 2.6.3.1, number of final year students who passed the university examination year-wise during the last 5 years, and subquestion 2.6.3.2, number of final year students who appeared for the university examination year-wise during the last 5 years. Here you have to enter the numbers accordingly for each year and then click on Save button. This metric has a mandatory data template upload and link for the annual report on your institutional website, and upload any additional information. Now let us see what are the documents required for verification and specific instructions of this metric. The documents required are the result sheet published by the affiliating university, attested by the principal, certified report from controller examination of the affiliating university indicating pass percentage of students of the final year, final semester eligible for the degree program wise or year wise, and specific instruction says only final year student data will be considered for all the 5 years of the assessment period, and what you should not include or will not be considered is the results pertaining to students other than the final year are not to be submitted in this metric. Moving ahead, we have key indicator 2.7, which is student satisfaction survey, and the metric is 2.7.1, online student satisfaction survey regarding teaching learning process. So the final response of this metric will be generated by the system only after the student survey is conducted for your institution, which is initiated after submission of SSR. So this question will be shown as pending in the status, but it will not block you from submission of your SSR. And the data for this metric is taken in student details for survey, which is available in a separate video, which is student details for survey.